What is going on? This is your boy Jordan JC. I'm back again on the ATS Report, and today I wanted to talk about none other than Bojack himself, number 4 on your Chicago Bears. And is this the last year and the end of an era for Eddie Jackson? I wanted to talk about this because there's just a few things that I'm starting to see as far as just his game, and then of course him being a little bit older in age, that are starting to make me think that maybe this Bears organization is going to go in a different direction come this off season. And I just want to talk about it briefly. So Eddie Jackson, of course, has been known as one of the stalwarts and one of the mainstays on this defense for quite some time now. Even back when the Bears were a very good defense, when they had Akeem, they had Khalil, they had a whole bunch of dogs on the team, and he was right in the thick of it. And what was he known for? He was known for ball hawking. He was known for interceptions. He was known for pick sixes. He was actually getting him at a high clip back when he was much younger, and so the reason why I wanted to bring this up is at the end for him this year is because you're starting to see the wear and tear. Obviously, he just came back from an injury that took him out last season, and I just think that going forward, this team is probably going to go in a different direction where they need to re-up at the safety position. No knock on Eddie Jackson in his career. I am a huge fan of Bojack. I just want to make that clear. But the idea of him staying around, that might not be the best business move. If you saw the game this past week against the Saints, there were multiple times where you saw Eddie Jackson. Unfortunately, he tried to stop a run, and Alvin Kamara ran right through him. It wasn't Eddie Jackson has never been known as a sure tackler, and so in my opinion, even as great as Eddie used to be, I feel like Eddie has always been a all or nothing player, meaning that he will either give you all of his greatness by ball hawking and anticipating passes and cutting passing lanes, or he'll allow people to just breeze past him, uh, easily being able to get out of tackles given by Eddie Jackson. I just think that that's the give and take with Eddie as a free safety. Um, One of the things that I'm looking to pose to do is to keep that 12 million or at least get that 12 million back because that's how much Eddie Jackson's contract would be. And you take that, you allow him to walk, you don't sign him back, and he goes in the off season, and now that's 12 million on top of all the money that we do have, and you go out and either address that safety position, that need in free agency and or in the draft, either one or both. There's names like possibly Antoine Winfield Jr. I need to see somebody that's more of a thumper, right? Somebody that can actually tackle and be a sure tackler. Because if you're an all or nothing player, the one thing I need you to do is to be able to tackle. And unfortunately, Eddie Jackson seems as if he's not at the point where he's a sure tackler anymore. And of course, he wasn't really known for that to begin with. But not to throw a whole bunch of shade or nothing on Eddie Jackson. Again, loved his career. It's just the fact that I think it's time now where we need to move forward. There's actually a report out by one Jacob Infante. It says, I think we're witnessing the end of the Eddie Jackson era in Chicago. It's been a great run, but he's not the same player anymore. Considering you save, as I said, 12 million by cutting him, feels like it's a foregone conclusion unless he turns things around somehow. So again, that could be the only way that we keep Eddie Jackson is now that maybe he has had a few games to recover from his injury. Now he's kind of get back in and back into the swing of things. We got Montez Sweat. You see that there's a little bit more pressure as far as you saw in the Saints game. Didn't get to the quarterback at all, but the pressure was still there. The quarterback hits was there. Now we got to get sacks. But what that does, as I've always talked about, even with Jalen Johnson, is it shores up them to be a little bit more freer in their playing, their playing style. Eddie Jackson was always great when he knew he had that front four and those linebackers, Roquan and Khalil, Quinn, Akeem Hicks, all those dogs in front of him doing their job, which made his job much easier, which allowed him to be the special player that he was. And so if he resembles that, do we kind of have a conversation where we can say, well, let's trail back on maybe cutting him and letting him go, maybe because he's still a great mentor in the locker room, great leader. That is never to be questioned. But we need to see the production kind of meet that as well, because 12 million is a lot of money that you could be giving to somebody else that is younger, that is more of what you need as far as this team going in the direction of rebuilding and kind of revamping their entire defense. And so I just thought that maybe this could be the end of what we see Eddie Jackson playing for the Chicago Bears. I feel like this could be a swan song. Don't know. How do you guys feel about it? Do you think that maybe this is a little too soon? Maybe Eddie Jackson needs a few more games under his belt to kind of get going. Do you think that the addition of Sweat is going to allow for him to kind of get back to being that ball hawk, that interceptor, turning defense into offense, as we've talked about before? Or do you think that Eddie Jackson is kind of done and this is kind of like his goodbye year? So hey, regardless of what happens, Eddie Jackson gave us a great career in Chicago. Whether it ends after this year or it keeps going, there is nothing bad to say about what he did for the Chicago Bears, especially in his prime years. Heck of a player. And I'm sure a lot of you Chicago fans feel the same way. And so leave your comments and how you feel down below on Eddie Jackson. What should we do? And I will see you guys on the next ATS Report. I'm out.